Hello, welcome to everyone. It's so good to see people from all over the world tonight or today. It might be daytime where you live in the world. And welcome to everyone who is listening to the recording after the fact. So it's great to have you here today, and we're going to dive deeper into understanding the hidden reasons that you or someone you love may be suffering from things like chronic physical pain, perhaps depression, anxiety, perhaps panic attacks that seem to come out of nowhere. Maybe you've had seizures. Maybe you can't get your thyroid right. Maybe you've had insomnia and not being able to sleep without sleeping aids. I know some of you are here because you suffer from binge eating or digestive drama, pain, struggling with those food sensitivities, right? You can't digest anything. You're not absorbing your nutrients. Maybe you've got migraine headaches and they just seem to come out of nowhere. I work with a lot of people all over the world with a very wide range of conditions. So if you're here, if you have multiple conditions, if you've been suffering a long time, if you've seen the test results, but nothing's worked for you, or perhaps nothing is showing up on a medical test, and yet you clearly have symptoms and they're just scratching their head saying, we don't know what to do for you. You're in the right place here. And I want you to rest assured that although we're not going to solve all your problems in the next hour, you may have a life-changing awareness in the next hour, and you may get some relief. You may even get a lot of relief. But there are hidden reasons, and these reasons are not typically found on any type of diagnostic test. So no matter what you're suffering from, a couple things I want you to know, and feel free to write these down. Number one, the body is designed to heal when it's given the right tools, a safe space, and a guide that can help you if you get lost along the way. So many people that I meet and who come to me, they try to figure it out on their own for a long, long time. And this is part of the problem, my friends. And look, I've done it. There's no judgment here. We all do this. We want to figure it out, right? And we go into the head with the same set of thinking and beliefs and ideas that we've had our whole lives. And we try to figure it out with the same thinking and set of beliefs that we've had our whole lives. Well, if you have tried to figure something out and has nothing, you haven't found the solution, perhaps it would be wise to find a different way of thinking and a new set of beliefs that's outside your comfort zone. Now, this is why many people don't heal. It's one of the top reasons. They're using the same set of thinking, ideas, and beliefs that got them where they are. And they're trying to figure out with a limited viewpoint about what's going on. Even if you keep going to the same type of doctors, practitioners, and they can't figure it out, they're using a framework, a set of beliefs, ideas, ways of thinking that is missing something. And a lot of people, almost everyone says to me, Deborah, I have a block. I'm blocked. No, you're not blocked. You have a blind spot. There are no blocks. I know some of you are rolling your eyes when I say that, because almost everyone is told, oh, you're blocked. There are no blocks. There are only blind spots. And once we open the door and take the blinders off, lots of things make sense and fall into place. And you will know what to do, or you'll at least know where to look to get the help you need. But if you keep thinking you're blocked and you keep telling yourself you're blocked, I'm blocked, I'm blocked, I'm blocked, you are engraving a belief that's actually working against you. So today, would anyone here be willing to drop this idea that you have a block, that you're terribly blocked, that you've been blocked for eternity, your whole family, your lineage is blocked? Like, would you be willing to just drop this just for the next hour at least and be open to a new way of thinking? I would appreciate that if you would. You can take it back. Your block, we will refund your block. But for now, just set it aside and be open, because you may hear something in a new way and it may click for you. And this could turn your life in a totally different direction. All right. The second point that I want to make tonight is that many people come to me and they have this idea that they've gotten from common ways of treating illness. They have these ideas that, number A, healing takes a long time. Because I've had it a long time and it's been very difficult, it's going to take me a long time to heal. Are you willing and open to the possibility that healing doesn't have to take a long time? Even if you've had something for decades, even if it runs in your family, even if you've been told it's going to take you a long time, what if? I mean, how is it possible that I've worked with so many people who even immediately began to change? The physical body, yes, began to change. Their symptoms disappeared when they hadn't had that experience before, with a long list of other methods. So number one, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, now I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to have that result, but I can guarantee you that I've worked with thousands and thousands of people where I saw they changed, and they changed rapidly. And I've even been in a scientific research lab 3 times now where they witnessed, videoed, measured, they did all kinds of rigmarole that showed evidence, scientific evidence, that the people I worked on changed rapidly in less than 1 hour. And they saw that with measurements, measurable results from paralysis, from fibromyalgia, from arthritis, from insomnia, from migraines, from cataracts, from anxiety, depression. They saw, even cancerous tumors. They saw this, they measured it. So it's not just me making it up. And there are thousands, there are, I don't know how many testimonial success stories on my website of people who experience rapid results as well. Sometimes people within a month, usually within 1 to 4 appointments or 1 to 4 weeks in my group program, people experience some kind of change. Sometimes even from a short session, people experience major change. So this idea that healing has to take a long time, if you keep thinking that, saying that, repeating that, imagining that, guess what? You're engraving another groove in the direction of what you don't want. And you're going to get more of what you don't want by doing that. So who's willing to at least suspend the idea that healing has to take a long time? Are you open to the possibility? Yeah, all right, I like it. Next, very common to have the idea, because again, I hear it all the time. I listen to these telesummits, believe me, and I listen to the people who come tell me. And I read the articles and listen to the podcasts, and you know what I hear all the time, and I bet you've heard it too. Healing has to occur in layers. layer after layer, like peeling an onion. Anybody ever hear this peeling an onion theory? So I understand that. And I know it can seem like that for people, and it definitely works that way with other methods. But the method that I have discovered does not always work like layers of peeling an onion. I have seen people who have had 20 and 30 years of a condition immediately, all at once, gone. That is not layers and peeling an onion. And I'm going to attempt to describe tonight what's different about the high-speed healing method and my pain-free living program, and why people are getting different results when they come to the International Chronic Pain Institute than they are when they're going down a conventional medical route or even a more holistic natural medicine route. There are differences in these methods. And again, please know, I am not bashing or saying that the other methods are no good and don't work. They often work. If they didn't work, they wouldn't still be around. So a lot of people have come to me and they've experienced results from things like acupuncture and chiropractic and massage and lots of these devices that are out now. And even other energy healing, they said, felt good, but they didn't get the kind of results they experienced when they worked with me. There are lots of people who have taken supplements, changed their diets, even taken pharmaceutical drugs, as much as they're not, I don't love those and condone those. Many people do experience symptom relief from a lot of other things, but they don't seem to get rapid or as rapid or deep down to the roots of the problem with a lot of other methods that are out there. So why not? What's different? Why have so many people claimed that after they went through my pain-free living program and or worked with me privately or in my group, why did they experience healing? How did that happen in the science lab? What was different? So first of all, the way I work is an entirely different understanding, even from, believe it or not, holistic healing, holistic health. They are still looking at the body as a physical body and trying to alleviate symptoms. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not bashing that. It's fantastic. It helped me years ago. And I would still go if I needed to do that. But when we only look at the physical symptoms of a disease or pain, and by the way, I should mention, if you're here for any type of disease label that you've been given, I'm not just talking about chronic pain here. People get confused and they think I only work with chronic physical pain. That's not the case. I've helped people with numerous thyroid, immune, digestive. Lots of people come with neuropathy and just so many things. What are some other common ones? I've mentioned insomnia and migraines, but people come with nervous system, immune disorders, and many, many other types of symptoms and labels that they've been given. Breathing issues, lung, heart issues are very common. So just whatever's you've got going on, I think the number one different understanding of what you're going to find here is that nothing is physical, in my opinion and my experience. Nothing is physical. It shows up in the physical, yes, but it isn't physical. So when you come to work with me, we're not going to pick apart and analyze physical symptoms and try to suppress them. Of course, I want them to go away for you. I don't want you living in pain and disease. But the symptoms are never the root cause of the problem. And I'd like you to write that down and think about the distinction. The symptoms of pain or any disease is not the root cause of the problem. And if you understand just this one thing and you change your thinking, it can shift everything for you. Because most people are fixated on the physical body, the physical symptoms, and looking to suppress or repress and get rid of those symptoms. This is why so many of you are stuck, and so many people think they're blocked and are not getting results. Now, let me explain further. All of my work is based on principles that actually come from quantum physics, not biology. And this is a big, important distinction, because in physics, if you study physics at all, which you don't need to do to get well, by the way, and I'm not a physicist and I don't claim to understand everything about quantum physics, but what was shown to me decades ago that changed my life and enabled me to do the work that I do today and for all these years, what was revealed to me is that everything in the physical universe, the walls, the computer, your arms, the microphone, your glass of water, everything that you're looking at and can touch and that appears to be physical, if you were to really look at it under a high-powered piece of equipment, what you would discover is what I saw. And that is, it ain't physical. You know what it is? It's a mass of vibration of particles of energy and light. It's made of information. Your body and everything in the physical universe is actually made of vibrational information. And we're not used to thinking of information in that way. We think of information as reading a book, listening to a podcast. No, vibration is information. Energy is information. And guess what? And this is, again, another distinction of what's so different when you come here. We're looking at invisible information. So most people are not seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, sensing it. So they think it doesn't exist. But it does. And it's the key to your health or your sickness. Everything is vibrational information. When you look out the window at the empty space around you in the room, it looks empty, right? It looks like nothing's happening. But guess what? It's filled with information. Now, if you had extra sensory perception, you might see things, hear things, and feel things. That, if you can't see, hear, and feel it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know how if you take a magnet and another magnet, they join, they suck together because there's an invisible magnetic field around every magnet. Now, you can't see that field, but those magnetic principles always work. What was revealed to me and what physics also reveals, and the new area that's known as biofield science, it reveals an energy field that exists around every living thing, including your body. Every single one of you has a field similar to a magnet around your body. Now, I'm going to take it a step further. It is not only just around your body. There are all kinds of fields present everywhere. And in fact, we live in one unified, gigantic ocean of energy field, and we're all interconnected through this field. Now more and more you're hearing this term energy field, right? I'm sure a lot of you have heard this term. It's not new to you, but it's actually a new version of the original name it was given. And the original name was not energy field. And this is, again, confusing people. When the physicists in the 1970s, I believe it was 1972, discovered a new field, this was not even discovered until then. And they classified this new field. It was called an information field. Why? Because they discovered that the field was holding a lot of information that informed the body. So now you have stuff showing up in your body. You have these physical symptoms. You go get a test. They say, we can't find anything. Or they say, we do find something. Take this, do that. You take this, you do that, and nothing changes. Get another test, go to another specialist, right? You go down and down and down that spiral, that rabbit hole. That's what's so frustrating. But guess what? Have you ever been anywhere where they tested your energy field? I would venture to guess not one of you has. And if you have, that's a very unique and special doctor you went to. Most of the energy field testing devices are not in medical offices. They're in subtle energy research labs. How many people go to an energy lab, right? A research lab to get their health tested? They don't. And this is part of the big problem and the misunderstanding, because you can find everything in your energy field, but you can't always find it in the body. And even if it has shown up in the body, you can fix it faster, easier, safer via the energy field than if you try to work directly on the physical body. This is the big distinction, the difference between what most people try when they go to try to work on their health or their pain. And it's what we do first when you come work here. The energy field is the missing key. And it's the fastest, safest, easiest way to improve, yes, your physical energy, but also your emotional energy, your mental energy, and your physical health. Even the structure of your physical bones and body, which again, I'm going to say that again because people, I'll teach this stuff and then somebody always says to me, but Deborah, I have an x-ray that shows that my spine is damaged. Can this work on the physical spine? So I know it takes repeated hearing this information for it to really go in deeply, because we've been so programmed to think of certain physical things will never change, can't change, won't change. But this is not true. Your physical bones are made of energy and information. They're changing all the time. Something can't just change for the worse and not change for the better. Do you get that? If it can change in one direction, it can change in the opposite direction. I really want you to hear that, because so many people are discouraged and have given up hope because they've been told, you're changing in the bad direction and you can't change in the other direction. And I want to say no to that. And I want you to start opening your mind to the fact that if something can move, it can move in either direction. And here's one for you that will blow some gaskets for some people when I tell them this. If you change the vibrational information in your energy field, it's not even about moving in one direction or another. Guess what can happen? All of it is gone instantly. Why? How? Because every pain and symptom has a certain vibrational frequency. It's a pattern that you're holding in your physical body, or you're holding it in your energy field. If you change the vibrational frequency of your energy field, it is different immediately. Now, let me give you an example to make that more clear. If you go to your television and you turn on a certain channel, channel 10, you'll see what's playing on channel 10. But if you use your remote or use the dials on the television set and you change the channel, which, by the way, is changing a frequency, you're going to watch an entirely different show. You will not see what you saw on channel 10 when you go to channel 12 because you changed the frequency. Guess what? The work that I do with people is doing exactly that. We're changing your vibrational frequency, and then, wow, you're not going to be playing the same show in your body or mind. Does that make sense? I mean, it's really that simple. Yeah, exactly. When you get this, your hope will come back online and you'll start getting some motivation and energy to do something again about your situation when you know that this is possible. Einstein taught us that if and when you are exposed to the right frequencies, the body must change. Must. So what does that tell you? It tells you that somehow, for some reason, no matter what you've done, you're still carrying the same vibrational frequencies or similar. Maybe you've had some healing, but not full, or maybe something changed, but it keeps coming back. That's another common experience in my world when I talk to people. It left for a while and now it's back. Why is that? Or I had a little relief, but now it's back, or I had no relief. So what that tells me, and should be telling you, is you're still in your pattern. It's a vibrational information pattern, and nothing's changed it. So you can want and pray and scream and yell and beg God day and night, but if something doesn't change your vibrational pattern, you won't change. And that's what's so frustrating to people, because they don't know what they are doing and they don't think they're doing anything to contribute to the problem because they want everything to change so badly. Anybody relate to this? Give me some hearts, some love, type yes in the chat. Like if you're following me and you can identify, yeah. I mean, look, I spent decades praying, meditating, begging, doing everything under the sun to try to change. And I did not see what I was doing to contribute to the problem. Nor, hang on, I have to sneeze. Nor did I want to be told that I was contributing to the problem. This is, if there is such a thing as a block, the only block there is unwillingness. Okay, I really want you to hear that. The only real block is unwillingness. Sorry, I have the urge to sneeze, but it's not coming out.
Gesundheit.
Block. So, for many years, I was unwilling to change. So you could have told me to do this or that, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, nothing will change if you're not willing to try something that you're being asked to do. But there really are two major things going on. If you've tried a lot of methods and you have not healed and nothing's working for you. And this is what I teach in my pain-free living program, but I'm going to give you two major clues. And some of you have probably heard this before. So I want you to take it in at a deeper level today than you've ever taken it in before. There are three things happening. Two, you're in charge of. One, I can help you with. I can help you with all three, but if you don't help yourself with two of the three and do the things I teach you to help yourself with two of the three, it still won't matter if I help you, because I can help alleviate a lot of troubles and then people bring them back because of the two things that you need to help yourself and me if you really truly want to heal. So the first is you have certain ideas. And look, there's no judgment here. It doesn't make you a bad person. You got a bunch of ideas just like I did and everybody does. Usually you get them back in childhood, but you could get them anywhere along the way. And these ideas that you think are true are not true. But if you think something is true and you act as if it's true, it will be true for you. Now, here's another really amazing universal law that I want you to really grasp, because it's a game changer. If something is actually true, it's true for everybody. So if you're suffering from something, and even just one other human being has been healed from that something, then the ideas you have about it not being able to be healed are not true. But if you're sitting around believing, I'll never heal, I can't heal, everybody in my family has this, my doctor told me there's no cure, I've been told there's nothing that can be done for this, it's permanent, you're going to find that reality to be true for you. Most likely. But if someone has found that not to be true, this is not 100% true. Do you get that? So it should give you a reason to get up and keep searching and not accept that. But I've worked with enough people to know that a lot of people give up. And why? Because they're afraid to be let down again. So they'd rather give up and stop searching and just accept, okay, there's nothing that can be done for this, than they would to try something and have it not work and be disappointed again. Anybody have that going on in this group? It's okay if you do, but I want you to recognize it, because that can contribute, not can, will contribute to why you don't heal. A part of you is actually afraid to try something again. A part of you thinks, what if it's not possible for me? What if I'm defective? What if I'm unique? And so you don't step out of your comfort zone and you play it safe. And a lot of people play it safe. And there's no judgment. It's fine to play it safe until it's not fine and you can't stand it anymore. And when your fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, well, let me say that differently. When your pain or symptoms are worse than your fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, you'll step out of your comfort zone. But the problem is, I don't want you to wait that long, because that can take a long time. And by the time that happens, your pain and symptoms are so huge that it does become a challenge. And it may be so debilitating that by that time, you can't work, you can't walk, you can't teach, you can't yoga, you can't dance, you can't travel, you can't play with your kids. I mean, on and on and on. Don't wait that long. God, don't wait that long. You don't have to wait till that long to get out of your comfort zone. All right, the second area. So we have to look at the mind. We have to look at how you think and what you think. And in particular, what you think repetitively, over and over and over and over and over and over, that you think and you actually believe is true that may not be true. And this is what we work on right away in my pain-free living program, or if you work with me privately, because it sets the ball rolling. And I know there are other methods out there that work with the mind, that are techniques that make you have to go through every single idea and belief to clear them. That's not the case here. So don't get all exhausted at the thought that you're going to have to clear every single belief that's going on in your 90,000 thoughts a day head. That's not how we do it here. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a slow boat. So it can actually move a lot quicker with what we do here. So the mind, area number one, and you're going to have to be willing to look at your habits of thought and be willing to practice a new skill if you want to heal. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I can't do everything for you. I wish I could. And some people get that magic wand effect, but it doesn't last for everyone. It does for some, but not for everyone, because of the mind, your mind, not my mind, your mind. So that's why in a perfect world, I like to teach people the self-care tools so that you can stay on track and not go backwards and bring stuff back. Does that make sense? Yeah. Area number two, and this is probably the biggest culprit for the majority of people, but it's linked to thinking, and that's your emotions. And we live in a world that doesn't really like emotions at all, quite frankly. They get labeled weak, they get labeled immature, they get labeled unprofessional, they get labeled wrong, bad, don't bring those here. And it couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to emotions. And in fact, there's a lot of research that came out of an energy research lab, okay, that proved for decades that emotions are emitting frequencies and are the number one contributor to your pain, your patterns, and your symptoms of disease. They are the strongest, have the strongest influence on your pain, your patterns, and your symptoms of disease. They will have the strongest influence on your relationships with yourself, with other people that you love, with God, with the universe, with nature. They will have the strongest influence even on, ready for this, your money, your finances. Your emotions are at the roots of every choice you make. And this is the sad fact, but many, many, many people, and I was one of them, are not in touch with how they really feel. They are not aware of their emotions. They don't like their emotions. They judge their emotions. They've been judged by others for their emotions. They've learned to suppress and repress and deny their emotions. They have learned to disconnect and disassociate from their emotions. They don't understand where they put them in their body and store them up. And these emotions, when you do any of the things I just mentioned, over time, they come out sideways as a symptom. Because emotions are made of energy. And energy is supposed to be flowing and moving all the time. We know from science, energy never dies, but it changes form and it moves. And it can be stored, listen closely, it can be stored in a space like a room or a house or a city or a country or a body. It gets stored somewhere. It doesn't just disappear. It doesn't die. It's being stored somewhere. Have you ever walked into someone's home and you go, oh my God, what's been going on here? Because you feel something strongly and you don't know what it is, but you feel it. Or have you ever met a person and said, wow, they have a really great vibes? Or met someone and said, ooh, I don't know what it is about that person, but I don't want to be around them. You're picking up energy, emotional energy, vibrational energy. Remember, I talked about the information. This is information, and you're picking it up all the time from the people you surround yourself with, the environments you hang out in, the things that you watch, read, listen to, look at, literally from the city you live in, the town, the street, the house, you're picking up information all the time. You're also picking up information from food. Food is information in a very beautiful form, but it's information. I want you to start thinking about information differently. Food is information. Pills are information. Supplements are information. It's not just what people tell you. You're getting information from everything you look at, even invisibly from all kinds of frequencies that you're exposed to from your devices, from Wi-Fi, from all kinds of invisible information. And you're taking it in via your energy field, your biofield. So let me backtrack a minute. So these physicists discovered and classified a fifth field, a new field in physics, and they called it this information field. It later became known as a biofield because the National Institute of Health did a study and gave it that name. But that's only referring to the field around your body. The physicists understood that this information field, it's everywhere. We're living in it. Like the ocean. Big, really big. And we resonate with certain people and places and things and classes and types of work because we resonate with a particular frequency that a place, a person, a space, a book, a work holds. Everything's got a particular frequency it's vibrating. Everything. Your organs, your nervous system, your body has particular frequencies. Your mother, your father, your house, your job, the people you hang out, they all have their own vibrational frequencies. And you resonate with some of them and you don't resonate with others. Resonance is why you feel good in certain places, why you live where you do. Well, hopefully you live where you feel good. But see, a lot of people force themselves based on their conditioning from childhood, those ideas I was talking about. A lot of people force themselves to live where they don't want to live, work where they don't want to work, hang out with people they don't like, eat food they don't even like because they were told it's good for you. But their body tells them something different. They force themselves to do things that they are not in resonance with. Now, I am guilty of this. I followed a formula I was taught as a child, and I started working many years, not now, but years ago. When I started on my healing journey after I had a bad health crisis, I discovered I had been forcing myself to work in a job for a long time that I didn't even like because I thought it would please my father. I married someone I should never have married. I knew that, but I did it anyway. I lived in places that I didn't like. I ate food that I didn't like. I hung out with people that I didn't like. Now, this is a formula for disaster, my friends. If you don't resonate, and when you resonate with something, you like it, it feels good, your body says yes to it, you actually feel expanded, not uptight and tense and restricted and constricted. You can breathe deeper, easier. You feel safer. You feel at ease. The opposite, when you do the opposite of this, you feel dis-ease. That's what dis-ease is, and that's what's at the root of all dis-ease. It's something that I'm describing here today, and you don't find this on a medical test. And very few people talk to you about this. Where is your life out of ease? Where are you not at ease? They talk about stress in holistic health, which is great because stress is a great indicator. If every day you find yourself, I'm so stressed, work is so stressful, my family is stressing me out, my kids are stressing me out. See, we've now coined this term stress as kind of a bucket that we throw everything into when we're noticing dis-ease. And there's a reason you're in dis-ease, and we need to resolve those reasons. If you want to heal, you must learn to feel the feelings you don't like, that feel like dis-ease, that stress you out. You have to learn to feel them, find them, discover what you're doing with them, or how you're ignoring them and suppressing them, or medicating them away, or binge eating them away, or drinking and drugging them away, or sleeping them away, or shopping them away, or sexing them away, or whatever the hell you're doing with them. You got to find them. And we've got to resolve them, not pretend they're not important or they make you weak. Are you with me? This is the root. There's ease or there's dis-ease. Nature is simple, and it's always guiding us. And you, my friends, are part of nature. You always were, you are now, and you always will be. Hate to tell you, you're an animal, just like a dog or a cat. And there's no dog or cat that doesn't know what they need. They know when they're hungry. They eat when they're hungry. They know where to find food, how to find food. You look at trees, flowers, all of nature. It's following its blueprint. Human beings are the only ones that are born with a blueprint and don't follow it because they think they're smarter. They're going to find a better way than following their blueprint. They were taught to be different. You may have been shamed out of, guilted out of, beaten out of your authentic nature. When you grow up and you're told, oh, you shouldn't feel like that, stop crying. Or you're not allowed to be angry in this house. You stop that now. You get rid of that. Somehow you just stop it. If you're beaten for certain feelings, if you're ridiculed or shamed or criticized for certain feelings, you'll learn to shut them down and not express them. And you'll show up on my doorstep and ask me, why is my thyroid underactive and nothing works to heal it? Or you'll say to me, I was told I have chronic fatigue, but they can't find out why. Why can't I get off the couch? Why can't I sleep? Right when I start to relax and fall asleep, I wake up over and over all through the night. Things like that. Why do I get migraines when I'm around my boss? Why does my neck tension, jaw hurt, clench my teeth, grind my teeth, TMJ? All of these things are related to your habits of thought, your conditioning from childhood, the things you believe that are true, and your emotional responses to your thoughts, to other people's, and to your life. And guess what the good news is? Your energy field is a recording device, and it has recorded everything that's ever happened to you before you were even born into this lifetime. It's happened. It recorded your birth experience in the womb. So even if your mother was traumatized or had all kinds of issues and you were connected to your mother before you were born, even if you brought in her stuff, those of you who think or have been told or know you're an empath and you pick up other people's, this is all recorded in your energy field. And the fastest, safest, easiest non-drug way to clear all of this is starting in your energy field first, not last, not after 30 years of trying everything else. We need to go to the energy field first. This is why I tirelessly teach and do these interviews and podcasts and free calls, because I want to wake up the world. Wake up the world with what I was shown, what I've seen, what has been revealed to me every single day. with the people I've worked with for a long time now, for years now, these are the keys, and they're slowly getting out into the world, into people's minds. And I want to thank you, because you may not be aware, but by you showing up here and us having this conversation and you thinking about these new ideas, these new concepts, this new way of looking at health and the healing process, guess what? You and I are putting new information into the one gigantic field that everyone is connected to. By you being here, you're actually helping all people everywhere, because the one unified field is also recording all the information that we're thinking about and talking about collectively. That's why it's such a mess out there. It's all in that field. But according to what you resonate with most, you will find what you need, and you'll be guided to the people, places, things, events that you need. It also helps other people who are not interested wake up. It does. So you're doing your part by participating in this new information. And the more you think about it and use it, you're helping many other people as well. And you're helping your lineage that has come before you, because you're altering your DNA when you make changes in yourself and in your way of thinking in particular, and when you free up emotions that you've been carrying and that your family carried. See, my family carried struggle. They believed life was hard because their lives were hard, but they believed all life is hard. And they believed that all life is a struggle and always will be, because they believe that the past always repeats in the present and determines the future. Well, the present does determine the future, but the past doesn't have to repeat ever again. From this day forward, if you are willing to drop your past. But this is tricky, because most people identify with their memories, and they think that their memories are the only reality, and they identify with them. Are you willing to let go of the ideas you have about yourself? A lot of people aren't not. What I found in working with many people, when they get to, they experience healing when they work with me, and all of a sudden they say, Deborah, I don't know who I am anymore. I was so associated with my pain, my disease, my label, my this, my that. I don't know who I am anymore. And guess what? That scares the hell out of them, which is why I like to teach you a lot of things and created my program, because you need to learn to reinvent yourself and stop identifying with the past, or you'll run back to the past just to have something to be. But who you are is not what you do or what you did or what you were taught to do. You are a free, creative being that's allowed to recreate your life any way you wish, but no one has told you this. So you don't even know how to use the tools that you have for creating. And those of you that do have some tools for creating, but find it doesn't work for you, it's because you have past beliefs that are still operating and emotions, typically fearful ones, that keep you from moving forward. So then you're between a rock and a hard place. Our memories do not need to be dragged into the present, because when you do that, you recreate your past. So if you've got a past that you want to recreate, keep doing it by all means. But if your past, see, what most people with pain and suffering do is they get up every morning and first thing they do is they look, is it still there? And you're going to find what you look for. They keep staring at the past. Oh, it's still there. Yes, it is. So we need to have a new understanding, new imagination of what you do want and what you think is possible for you. And if you don't think anything new is possible for you, that's why you feel blocked. So what I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do starting today as your homework, and write this down, please, is to ask a new question. And that is, what do I believe is possible for me? This will show you your limitations. You write down what every voice that comes up in your head when you ask yourself that question, what do I think is possible for me? Write down every single thought that comes into your head and flush it all out. Flush it all out of yourself. And don't pretend. If you get a negative thought that says nothing's possible for me, don't pretend you don't have it. Write it down. You want to listen to all of the ideas that come up and then ask the question again. What's possible for me? What do I believe is possible for me? And keep asking it and keep getting out of your mind, your brain, what's been programmed in there. That's your first step. And if you really are someone who doesn't believe anything's possible, please reach out to me today and book a private one-on-one session so I can get you moving forward in a new direction. Anyone's welcome to do that. But if you are that stuck, you're not going to figure this out on your own, and you need some help. So whether it's with me or not, find some help. And I recommend that everyone find a new viewpoint and get the help you need, because your thoughts that are in your brain that have been put in there, usually by somebody else, but you accepted them and you don't even remember or know, you're making choices based on those ideas. And you're having emotional responses based on those ideas. And they are affecting your physical body, because the top two things that show up in the physical body are your beliefs that you repeat and your emotions. These, my friends, are creative forces that are as real as electricity. They're creative forces that you've been hardwired with in your DNA. You're coded to be a creator being. God created you that way. You are a creator being. Your thoughts create. Your emotions create. So we need to start to sort out the true from the false, the ideas, the feelings that you keep repeating and rinsing and repeating that are not serving you. And you know what they are if you learn to sit still and listen. But most people don't sit still and listen. You know what they do? They rush around, distracting themselves from the very areas that they need to sit and listen to because they don't like how it feels. And they judge themselves. And those two things will keep you feeling blocked. So homework number 2, drop the judgment for 1 week. Don't judge yourself for anything. And notice what happens if you drop the judgment. Now, it'll come up and you'll catch yourself, but just drop it. And instead, listen deeper. What's coming up? Listen to it, feel it, and write down what you find. And question it, instead of accepting it as blind truth or running from it because you don't like how it feels. Your feelings are feedback. Your body gives you feedback, and the body is the last place that anything shows up. So you can even catch it before you get the feedback in your body that sticks to you. That's my goal, helping people release before it sticks to you. And then you get labeled. And then you go down the painful path with the drugs, the tests, the surgeries, the supplements, the never-ending supplements, the elimination diets, all the treatments, and you just get so discouraged. That's why I'm here talking away day in and day out. So, has anyone learned anything new, heard something that clicked, felt something? Is your body giving you feedback? Are you getting any ahas? Are you noticing a new awareness about yourself. This is the key to discover something new about you. Not another technique, but something about you that you may be doing that contributes to the problem. All right, if you've learned something, put it in the chat. If you have a question, put it in the chat. And we're going to spend the next 5 minutes. I will do my best to speed dial through questions and take you a little bit further. Those of you complaining about the volume, it's your computer, not mine. So there's something about your own computer. All right, let's see. I will look into the closed captioning. I don't know if obviously it's not enabled. I'll look into that. Thank you for mentioning that. Oh, other people are saying the volume is lower than usual. Why is that? Shouldn't be. The mic is as loud as always. All right. Well, I'm sorry if the volume's lower tonight. You sound a bit low. A bunch of people I'm just noticing are saying that. I wonder why. Does it sound any different now? All right. So, so people are asking this question a lot now. Have you ever healed advanced Alzheimer's? And I want to make it very, very clear. I'm not a doctor. I don't give medical advice. I don't treat symptoms. I don't treat these conditions, these labels, and I don't heal anything. There's a much higher power than Deborah, but I am a conduit for healing frequencies that are very powerful and that work on anything and everything. So I've had a lot of people come to me who were having memory loss, who were told they had Alzheimer's. First of all, I don't buy into any label. It's a pattern, and there are reasons for the pattern. It's not Alzheimer's. There's something going on that's a pattern that's causing certain symptoms that get labeled as Alzheimer's. So there are many, many reasons for this, and everyone's case is different. And I want to make it very clear, I don't make any guarantees. I'm not going to, won't and don't ever, because everyone's different. And the reasons for these things showing up have to do with you as well. So we have to have a deeper conversation and do our best to discover what you may be doing that contributes to the symptoms that are showing up. And that's my expertise. I'm really good at putting that puzzle together and finding the blind spots and what's at the root. So that's where you may want to reach out for a private session. And if you go to my website, which is internationalcpi.com, let me put that in the chat, internationalcpi.com, you will be able to book a private one-on-one discovery session, the 90-minute introductory discovery session. That's the first appointment that I recommend everyone have with me so that we can have a deep conversation and do the energy healing, because that gives me the head knowledge, and I'll find in your energy field what is also going on. And when I have that information, there's a greater chance that you will get some movement forward, and I'll be able to recommend what I think would be your next best steps going forward. So, but yes, I've seen people with strokes, memory loss, brain damage after accidents and injuries. I've seen quite a lot of people. They've reported to me the changes. I'll never forget when somebody called me and said that their friend had been hit in the head with a freight elevator. Imagine that. And he went into a coma and passed out. And this was not a pretty sight, and was taken to a trauma center and was in a coma for 2 days. And then his friend asked if I would work on him, and I did. And within 2 sessions, well, first of all, he was told he would never speak again, walk again. He was going to need all these surgeries. and all kinds of things. And he would have a lot of pain. He had, after the first session, he had zero pain. He said it was between a 0 and a 2 on a 1 to 10 pain scale. He said his pain was 0 to 2. By the second, I worked on him 2 days in a row at first. On the second day, he had zero pain. He needed zero meds. And within a month, he was back to work. So we're talking full brain capacity, all physical health, movement, strength, back to exercising, back to work. I mean, this defied all medical science. So I have come to really believe everything and anything is possible. All right, let's see. So Sue is asking, what are hints for increasing our vibrational frequency? So I've been talking about it all night, and this is why you need to keep coming back and listening over and over and over, because it takes a while for this to sink in. Your thoughts and your emotions are either increasing or decreasing your vibrational frequency. The information you take in every day, all day, from other people, from the TV set, from the social media, from your iPhone, from your friends, from your kids, from your foods, from your pills, from your supplements, from me, from everything. This is what is either raising or lowering your vibrational frequency. You are in charge of what you allow in. So I learned how to say no, because I used to be such a people pleaser. I would let people, places, and information in that was harming me. I learned how to leave a job that was not good for me, leave relationships that were harmful to me, say, no, I don't want to do that. No, I will not eat that. Even if you're insulted, I'm sorry, I won't eat it if I know it's not good for me. You see, you have to learn to take care of yourself. This is what I preach, self-care and learning to get to know yourself and what you need. That's what I teach in my program, and that's what you need to learn more than anything. Your number one deepest relationship should be the one with your inner self. Simple as that. Your inner self, your soul, your higher power. That's what you need to work on. All right. I work with tons of empaths. Yes. Had one earlier today. Again, Monica's asking, what about structural issues like scoliosis? See, this is why, again, you need to listen over and over. Go to my website and scroll down on the homepage, and you'll see a big colored button that says videos. You need to listen again and again to all the videos, because I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. The work that I do changes the physical structure, which is what scoliosis, which is just another label for a curvature of the spine. The spine is made of energy, light, and information. It can change. It does change. And it will change if it's given a safe space, the right tools, hint, hint, and a guide that can take you through the process. That's what we're doing here. The body is designed to change. I have had people come to me who they saw the x-rays of the discs and the bulging discs and the this and the that. And then they work with me, usually for a month or longer, and they go back and it doesn't show. The cysts, the tumors, the x-rays don't show the discs bulging, shows the changes. I had a 92-year-old have to raise the height of her walker after her very first session because she grew 2 inches, because her spine straightened when she let go of the traumas and the pains and the emotions. Because guess what your spine does? Your body, when it reacts emotionally to life and people and what you've been through, it grips and tenses up, or it relaxes, one or the other, ease or dis-ease. It's what I've been saying all night. Your body holds the story of your life. Your spine holds the story of your life and your lineage. And you may be the one that's here to correct the lineage path. That's been my job as well. All right, let's see. I love working with adolescents, Janet. They're like my favorite. I know they can be rough, but I think I'm still like a big teenager that never grew up. So I love them. I love young adults too. I work with a lot of young adults and even children. There's another question from Eileen or Ellen. Sorry, I might be pronouncing your name wrong. I'd like to know if you would work with teens who has ADHD. Yes. I've had a lot of success with the young adults and the young kids who were told they have ADD, ADHD, some kind of learning disabilities. I've worked with a lot of young athletes as well who were given that label. This seems to be very effective for ADHD. And again, I don't work with the label, but I work with the person, their energy field, and I can also teach them self-care practices to help them stay calmer and learn to focus better and bypass. See, the more they learn about ADHD, the worse they get. That's why the number of kids has risen like 100%, because they started putting the information out into the field and more people read it and say, oh, that's me. I have this. And then they decide I have this. And now they have this. And they believe in it. And the more they believe in it, the worse it gets. I don't care if it's this or any disease. The more you Google it and you read it and you research, the more you're going to have it and the worse it gets. And we've seen this with every new disease. It's how, see, where your energy is going, you're putting, where you put your attention, you're feeding energy into it. So most people feed energy into the problem, not the solution. And they get more of the problem. And that's what the world does too. That's what the typical way of dealing with a health condition is, to put attention on the problem. You with me? This is the exact opposite of what we do, what you want to do. And I'm not saying ignore it, but you have to understand what to do with it once you experience it and you get the feedback from your body. You don't want to keep focused on the problem, or you won't get out of the jail cell. Let's see. John Sarno, no. Yes and no. He understood and wrote a book about pain showing up and moving around in the body because he knew it had more to do with the mind. And he didn't talk about emotions as much as I recall. I read the book, but it was like 30 years ago. But he was one of the first that was on the trail. Again, autism is another label that this work has been very effective helping. I worked with many children who were labeled autistic, and the mothers of the children who, by the way, often need more help than the children, and feel a lot of guilt and emotional support. And I would say that to any parent, quite frankly, no matter what your child has. Most of the parents are unknowingly feeding the problem and feeling guilty about it and worried about it all the time. And you're putting energy into what you don't want. So in a perfect world, I like to work with the child 2 or 3 times and then work with the parents separately as well, because you need both. You both need healing. And then I like to do a session with the parent and the child together. We can even do that first. It's often helpful to do that to that first. And then I work with you separately, but the parents are contributing and don't know it. And the worst thing you can do for your child is worry about your child. But I understand why you do it, but it's not effective, and it's feeding the problem. All right, so I'm going to end tonight and just ask you a question. Type in the chat one thing you heard tonight that you know you need to focus on, think about, and practice. What's one thing you heard tonight? Type that in the chat that you know you need to focus on, think about, clear out. Maybe you need to drop it. One thing that you realized tonight about yourself or your health condition. One thing you learned, heard, felt, maybe you felt an emotion that you don't normally feel. Type in the chat. Let's get a sense of what you've heard tonight. All right. Angie said, I like the idea of paying attention to what you resonate with and being at ease. Beautiful. If you start paying attention to that, Angie, and everyone, you will find yourself feeling better. You will. Find out who you resonate with, where you resonate, and where you feel at ease and where you feel in dis-ease. Let's see. Thank you. Ellen said, I love everything you say and feel hope to heal my body. I like the idea of healing now. Yes. So just keep reminding yourself, everyone, I can heal. It's possible for me to heal. I want you to think about that. Write it down. Say it out loud with energy. Tell everybody. Tell yourself. That's the most important person, is tell yourself. And then follow the urge to do what you feel, sense would help you, what you're curious about, what all of a sudden you get excited about. Follow that. Take action and know that you can heal. Let's see. Another person is saying, yes, he or she resonated with negative beliefs, looping the thoughts, feeling discouragement and too worried about what others think, the low self-esteem and the confidence. All right, so let's work on that. There are solutions for that. Cherry said, I can see my beliefs about money are a problem. Yes, it's a problem. It's actually the number one problem for most people right now in particular. And it's all changeable because money is energy. Money is nothing but energy. So I work with people on this all the time. Let's see. What else? Comments here. There's a big difference. There's a question about what's different between the other energy healing like Reiki or quantum touch. Those are techniques that are done the same way on each person. What I do is not a technique. It's actually a state of consciousness that I have and I hold it for you until you can hold it on your own. And I bring in all frequencies, which are cosmic, galactic frequencies that are healing frequencies. And then you start to resonate with the ones that you need. And this is why I believe people are getting quicker, more dramatic healing results when they work with me. And it's been just time and time again where people have said to me, I've tried other methods and this just worked. This worked. Or finally it worked, or finally I got results. I also think it has to do with, I combine it with the pain-free living program that I designed, that I developed. I think the two are a really good combination because there's nowhere else to look. If you do what I teach in the PFLP program and you let me work in your energy field, there's nowhere else to look. So we have to just find with you what is going on and what habits you have that you're probably unconsciously doing. It's usually just something that's unconscious. And you can't just rely on energy healing. You've got to take a look at yourself, and I will teach you where to look. And I think if you're willing to do that, and you get blasted with all these frequencies that I bring in, that's why so many people, including healing practitioners who come to me to work on them. Now, I work on a lot of medical professionals, a lot of health professionals, and a lot of energy healers. They come to me and they say, this is different. And I don't know that I have all the answers, but it is different. All right, let's see. Yes, letting go of the past. It's a big idea that I hope a lot of you heard and hang on to. Important to let go of the past. Pay less attention to what is wrong. Yes, Johanna, beautiful. Katerina said, no labeling. Yes, important. Debbie said to focus on the solution, not the problem. Yes. Sonia said the mind and the emotions are like electricity. Yes. Ellen said, stop judging myself. Triple yes. You find what you look for, Astara says. Yes. iPhone says, convincing self of limitations. That's a big yes. Double yes. Focus on what I want, not the problem. Yay. Clear the negative thinking, Jennifer. Yes, Jennifer. Alice said positive thinking. Yes, but it's more than just positive thinking. And this is, again, why some people are stuck. You can't just do affirmations and think it's all going to go away. That doesn't work. So it's more multifaceted. Wanda said, ask myself why. A very good question. However, a lot of people get stuck on the why. Why isn't going to change a thing. Ask yourself, are you willing to do whatever it takes to change? If you're willing to do whatever it takes, you probably won't have to. But if you just keep asking why, you're not going to get very far, is what I find. Janice said, quit worrying about my children. Well, yes, quit worrying. I'm not saying don't do anything about your children. I think you know that because I know you. But I am saying quit worrying about your children because your worry feeds energy in the wrong direction. And Janice, I know you don't want to do that. Ask a new question. Yes. Evaluate. What do I believe? Yes, Diane. Really good. What do I believe? What do I think? Question all of your thoughts. All of them. Most of them you're going to find are not even true. Lisa said, be aware and focus more on the energies and the information in my environment. Yes, ma'am. That's what a lot of people forget about. Marielle said, tune in and tap into the innate healing energy. Yes, yes, yes. Angie said, pay attention to what I do that does not resonate with me and find things that bring me ease. These are beautiful, my friends. You're getting it. Okay. I'm seeing that you guys are getting it. And I love it. Lots of great, great comments in here. So I want to thank you so much. We had 94 people on the call and we still have 93 and it's been an hour and a half. That says that you're getting value here. And there's nothing that warms my heart more than knowing that. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here, taking time out of your busy life and staying here. That's amazing. One person left. That's amazing. So I hope you'll reach out and let me help you if you need more help. I'm here for you. I'm sincerely here for you. And there's various different ways I work with people. If you've got a money idea block, let's work on that because it's amazing how that can shift as well. And you can become open to receiving what you need. The key is making a decision that you're willing to be there for yourself and get yourself what you need. So we'll help you through that and come back to the free calls, get a copy of my book on the website, read the book and do the exercises in the book. And what can I say? I love you. That's about it. Love heals all. Come back for more. And thank you again. Have a beautiful rest of your day or night. The replay will come out tomorrow at some point, and you can listen again. You'll probably hear things you didn't hear today. Bye, everyone. How about everybody unmute and let's say goodnight to each other or goodbye to each other.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night.